Hello and welcome to Experience Share. My name is Miss Dreamringus.
Miss Drevis.
Strevius.
Right? Miss Drevius. I mean...
Miss Dree, Miss Gree, Miss
That thing's so ugly it doesn't even
Green
deserve
Ringus.
me saying it right. And Miss Dreamringus is hideous. I'll say.
AKA Tanner Greenring, and I am joined as always by my co-host, Chimichosh.
Show. I like that you put in parentheses on the notes, Buttcatchers. Tanner put, my weakest yet, question mark? Yeah.
I really struggle with the puns this week.
I like that you were trying to be innovative where they're both new, but it's a mess. I mean, it's a mess.
I looked at all of the Pokemon we fought this week, and I just couldn't. There was no talent in there. There was no talent. So I just had to square peg this one, you know?
Well, can I say something while we're talking about no talent? Just get it out of the way. Because it's,
you don't have any
it could be heart talent.
at this game.
I'm the one who taught you all that you know, and all the Bugcatchers are about to hear this whole tale about all this stuff that you did.
Yeah.
But it's all based on me telling you about how the perfect links work
Yeah, you're
and
telling me, man.
how to capture all the hottest warlords and war ladies in all of Ransai.
Yeah, man. Germany may have invented the hamburger, but America perfected it, you know?
I think that's not. I think that's.
Oh,
not
yeah.
true.
Why is it called a hamburger
I'm
then?
pretty sure that it was invented in America
It was invented in New Haven,
by a guy
Connecticut.
who's from Germany, from Hamburg. Isn't that it? But it was made
know.
in America.
I don't know. Do
You want
All
me
I
to
know
fact
is
check
that
this?
the restaurant that first served the hamburger sandwich is right near our friend Hannah's house.
Oh, when I was out there most recently in December, and she was like, here are a few options. And one of them is the New Haven slice with all the, clam ramparts on there. The other one was this person who's claiming that they invented the hamburger. And I took a look at the photo on the website, and I was like, that looks like a burger that somebody found in the trash. And I'm not afraid to say it.
Yeah, man. I didn't say the
I'm not
food
afraid to
was
say
good up here in Connecticut. I just said we're innovators. We also invented
The
the
first
steamed
hamburger probably wasn't that good, to be fair.
Yeah.
We've made it good.
The first
over
iPhone
hundreds
was
of years
terrible.
of innovation.
You know? It takes development. It takes R&D.
Well, what I was trying to say, Tanner, is that I guess in this game, I'm not shocked, but I am sad to admit I don't have a sweetie this week.
What?
Nobody's talent charmed me.
Ooh, let me think, because I definitely saw someone.
I was going to
let
pull
me
up if I
think.
took any photos of somebody who sparked something within me, but I feel like there was nothing.
Joshua, can I do your sweetie for you this week?
Yeah, as long as we're out of the
Joshy's sweetie.
intro and you can fit the
Yeah,
music
sorry,
in
this
here.
is a Pokemon game. It's sorry, this is a Pokemon podcast.
We play
through all the
games.
Pokemon games, gym
That's
by gym,
right.
week by week. Except right now we're in an interstitial season and we're playing through Pokemon Conquest. And it's not gym by gym, week by week. It's kingdom by kingdom, week by week. And
That's right.
We're taking on 3 new kingdoms: the Avia Kingdom, the Spectra Kingdom, and the Valora Kingdom.
That's right.
Joshua, let me tell you who your sweetie is.
Oh, tell me, who is Tanny's sweetie?
I was kicking around in Avia doing some training because
I
I've been
feel like
playing
it's
this game.
Do you think it's probably
Avia?
Avia though, because it's aviary and it's
Yeah, I
flying?
just thought it was a little on the nose, you know? It's the
Did you
second time
notice-
they've just taken the last letter off of something.
Did you notice that-
Pugilist was Pugilist, and now Avian is Avia.
I think I realized I made a redaction on the Chrysalia Chrysalis debate with the title because I looked at my game this week after listening to that episode. I was like, wait a second, it is Chrysalia on my game, but the old guides that we're referring to, like the GameSpot one, calls it Chrysalis. I was like, Chrysalis, that makes sense because it's bugs.
Well, and Chrysalia is like a kind of flower, right? Who
Yeah,
cares?
but they're all like Ias.
Hey, it's all
or,
made up shit anyway.
But anyway,
it's all
so-
video games.
Avia, Avia.
I'm in
it's all
Avia. I'm in
the same to me.
Avia, and I'm training up. And obviously, the Avia, I've got some lightning types in there, and I've got some rock types in there, and I'm going in there and I'm training a lot. And I realized that there was one Pokemon on my team that was holding me back, and it was Soren, who I've complained about before because
I don't like the guy.
his little Pikachu was just falling back in levels compared to everyone else. So I was like, well, what are we going to do about that? Looked in the old inventory. realized that merchant had given me a Thunderstone that I wasn't using.
Oh.
Fed that to Pikachu. Welcome, Tanny's sweetie, Raichu.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
The splash art in this game to die for.
Do you have a pick? I didn't get to see that little tasty little morsel.
Yeah, I think I can pull one up here. One sec.
Although I'm looking at the sprite even, and I like it. It's so bulbous.
Yeah, he's a little chibi bulbous guy.
It's like one of my cats when they lean up. You know when a cat leans up against the back of a couch and they like clean themselves and then they just sit there and they look like a little big boy? Oh, yeah.
He's like little roly-poly. He's got his cute little bunny feet up.
That's a sweetie.
Got a little grump on his face.
That's a sweetie.
Yeah, he's a cutie.
Certified sweetie. It looks like he's just taken, like he's bouncing around on like a trampoline and he's coming back down and he's
yes. It's like the Man Show. Do you remember the Man Show? Did you
Yeah.
watch a lot of the Man Show?
Even when I didn't know I was gay, I was like, this doesn't feel good to watch this.
I don't think it felt good to anyone.
I think extreme. I can't even imagine. We mentioned many episodes ago when a Memorial Day many years ago at this point, we decided, I think we just couldn't really figure out something to watch. And then somebody made a joke and then it spiraled out of control. And we all ended up watching the first Austin Powers.
Oh, yeah.
And that we made it about 35 minutes and we were like, I feel grotesque. And
yeah, this is bad.
We can't do this anymore.
That's
and
a mistake.
Man
Austin
Show,
Powers
I
is
think,
great, obviously.
would last
but
10 minutes maybe.
Oh, I don't even think it would last that long.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a good show.
But Raichu's
anyway,
good sweetie. So good.
They always
good
have girls
job.
jumping on trampolines. And now I'm thinking about Raichu jumping on trampolines.
So we already banged out that segment, even though you had to take the wheel on it. Thank you.
Hey, yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'm sorry that you couldn't put the work in this week to find your sweetie.
I've been trying to get someone who has a perfect link with Pichu, but nobody is.
Yeah,
biting.
I have two.
I actually have Violite on search right now because I've been trying to get that. But my Luxray is dominating, so it's also like, do I think Raichu is sweeter and better? Yeah. But do I know
but we're
that
about
Luxray
to head into the
is? Yeah.
Is lightning good against dragon?
No.
Oh, I thought it was.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's just ice and dragon, and that's why I'm pretty desperate at this point.
Well, whatever.
I've got the guy Nor. I think it's just Nor, or like maybe Nora or something. I've got the guy who has a perfect link with Dino.
Oh yeah, I have him too. But now we just got to find Dinos.
You can't get it until the post game, and here's when the post game starts reeling its ugly head.
I have one that's a perfect link with whatever Hydreigon. That's not Dino?
No, that's the end game of it. Yeah. So you probably have the same dude or somebody
I have
else
that guy.
Like that, but.
Yeah. But I also have the other guy who has the other dragon type Pokemon, I think. But anyway, I can't get the dragons yet, so it doesn't matter.
No.
Joshua, we ended last week in Viperia Nation.
That's right.
Poison type, if you remember. It was easy. We made quick work of all the gyms last week. I'll say this now. I made pretty quick work of all the gyms this week, too. I've become what I think could be considered maybe the world's most elite Pokemon Conquest player.
Oh, my God.
I'm unstoppable.
Oh, take that to the discovered there's a Pokemon Conquest subreddit. Take that to there.
Oh, yeah. I'll go drop that knowledge in and be like, hey, new to the subreddit, just so you guys know, I'm the greatest Pokemon Conquest player ever have lived.
Yeah.
So you guys can all retire now.
You may do an AMA. Just go in there, like join, and then an hour later, just do an AMA.
That's a good idea. I should do that.
That'll be good for us.
3 new kingdoms, actually 4 new kingdoms opened up to us this week.
Yes,
in the far north is Storm.
Avia was the last of like the section that was unlocked. So once we beat that, we got the final 3 before Nobunaga's hometown.
Yeah. Did we do Avia last week or this week?
No, we did it this week, but it was like part of the last batch.
Yeah,
the kingdoms are released in trios.
Yeah, and had we known like what the story beats of the kingdoms are, we probably would have structured the season differently because this is not the first time that like the kingdoms have unlocked awkwardly for our structure. But 4 new kingdoms unlocked, including Nixstrom, which is the last kingdom available on our map, though we know that Nobunaga is out there somewhere.
Yes.
But the first one that we can encounter, Joshua, is a little kingdom called Avia Kingdom. Before we get to that, though, I want to talk about something you told me last week.
Yeah.
You told me about perfect links.
I did.
Or maybe it was 2 weeks ago now.
It was 2 weeks ago. I enlightened you.
It's become my everything.
Sage that I am at this game. Like that professor, I've given you my wisdom, and then I died suddenly. And I didn't really struggle. I beat all of these kingdoms quickly, and I felt like Zach Galifianakis in The Hangover when he does that card trick where he's calculating, what's this player going to do next, or what's her face, who's so hot right now, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Oh, yeah.
In the Queen's Gambit, when she's getting super high, and then she sees all the chessboards on the ceiling, and she knows what the warrior is going to do.
Yeah.
Before they
I feel
know.
Like
that's what I felt like. So
Ewan McGregor in Train Spotting, and that baby's walking on the ceiling and its head spins around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But based on the stats I'm seeing, I feel like that baby compared to you.
So yes, let's talk about my journey, because I've been on a journey this week, and what I did was I realized that I must get all perfect links, or at least I must check out all of the available warriors I have, see what their perfect links are, see what I'm able to fill, see what I'm not able to fill, and then I restructured my entire kingdom. So the rightmost 3 kingdoms that we beat last week became my it's a caste system, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
Those became my elites. So those are all my gold warriors and all my perfect links. So I keep all of them there.
Okay.
And I keep all of those kingdoms on training mode so that they'll just keep training up. And then I'll also go in every now and then and just see what mon are available in the training zones and go and either try to catch a new one, or I'll just go slaughter them, because I want to level up those training zones too, so that new, more interesting, stronger Pokemon come into them. I've yet to get a training zone to level up past level 2, but I don't know how to do that.
I think that they level out eventually, and it's again a post-game thing. I'm not positive about that, though.
The other thing I was doing a lot was mining. I don't know if you've really looked into mining yet, but
I got into it this last leg.
It's the best thing to do when there's no other options, because you earn good money and you get stronger links between your Pokemon and your warriors.
And it's such low effort.
Yeah, it's super low effort.
You just click a couple of A's.
So I was doing that in my top cast kingdoms on the far right side of the map.
And you're proud of the cast system.
I'm not proud of it at all, no, but it's working for us,
Of course. Yeah, well.
The other
usually does for certain people.
I would say Arceus is back is my middle cast, and that's where I'm keeping my warriors who have good, strong links with good, strong Pokemon who haven't made themselves available to me yet.
Like the 70s?
No. Like, these are warriors who, Nene will have a super strong link with Chandelure, and it's like, okay, I want a Chandelure, but I haven't found a Litwick yet in the training areas.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well,
so I'm going to hold on to Nene with her Arbok for now, her 60% link Arbok, until a Litwick makes itself available, and then I'll go use Nene to catch that Litwick, and I'll have another perfect link.
I do move mine around, not quite as regimented, is one way I could describe what you're doing, but I do move them around roughly as like, okay, I know that they can potentially get their perfect link here. But it's more for like the ones that I care about.
And then the bottom 4 kingdoms, Aurora, Greenleaf, Ignis, and Fontaine. Mm-hmm. That's the gutter.
Those are your proles.
That's where
peons.
I throw the warriors who I have conscripted who have terrible perfect link Pokemon. We're talking like Bidoof,
Yeah.
I don't need someone who's got a perfect link with Bidoof.
So you are better than your hometown. Aurora, you don't give a shit.
Oh, it's
hate all those people.
It's not a place you want to go. It's really gone to seed,
Dark.
And then another thing kept happening is every time I catch a new warrior, I would look them up, see if they have good perfect links and good stats, and I would either send them to the good stats kingdoms or I would send them to the bad stats kingdoms. And when I sent them to the bad stat kingdom, the lowest cast, I would have to dismiss someone else just to make room.
Yeah.
But then the next round, that person who I dismissed was just back, in the training zone, ready to be caught again.
Oh, you hit the cap of warriors?
I think I've hit the cap of warriors. I mean, we can do warrior tally now.
So the chaff just cycles back through.
I'm at 80. What am I at? 86. And the game has just stopped giving me new warriors. I eventually went and caught all the ones who I dismissed again.
Yeah.
Just because I was like, I'm sick of these guys showing up. Like, maybe if I catch these guys, new ones will come. But that hasn't happened. I've broken the game. Yeah. I've caught every warrior I can catch.
I have 64. That's good for me. I like my people to have some room to roam with their mon. And I'm not I'm not just picking up any drifter.
I like to take him in. I like everyone. I'm like Genghis. I think Genghis Khan did this. I think he would accept anyone and let anyone kind of prove their mettle and show their worth. But
Right.
if you weren't up for it, he would, I guess,
you
cut your head off.
Yeah, you execute or exile them.
So yeah, I've become obsessed, Josh.
That seems
If I'm
clear.
not playing Pokemon Conquest, I'm on the IGN Perfect Link Guide. And if I'm not on the Perfect Link Guide, I'm on the Vikun Evolution Guide.
Right. I love
This
that.
is just
site.
where I'm at,
It's where you're at in your life.
Ugh, what a journey it's been.
How many hours you sunk into this thing?
I don't know. Is there a way to look at the hours?
Yeah, when at the loading screen for the save. Well, and what's your date check?
Oh, you want to do date check too?
We saved that. We're blowing through all the segments.
The date on mine is April of year 10.
I'm at March year 4.
You've only gone 1 year since
I'm
last time we
conservative
talked?
with using all my. Oh, I made it like 6 months.
It's not even 1 year because it was like fall of.
Yeah, it was
year 3.
October last time.
Wow. I continue to just kind of tear through. I mean, the Nixtrom has yet to even imply that they're going to attack me. But I'd like to see them try.
I've never been attacked.
Because the two kingdoms Nixtrom is connected to, both, I would say by close to 1,000 points, have Nixtrom on points. I think Nixtrom is like 2,000 something.
Yeah.
For the number of points they are packing. And I think Avia or whatever Valora, all my warriors in there are close to 3,000, all said and done. So I would like to see them attack me because they would get absolutely crushed.
And then that's just some nice EXP. Sweet EXP.
Yeah, I would take it. 50 hours and 16 minutes.
Oh my God. Wow, you were not kidding. That's you're just at a mainline Pokemon game at this point, nearly at the end.
April of year 10. I love this game. It's all I play.
I'm at 16 hours.
I've given up on every other game. 50 hours.
I can't wait till we get to the end of the series and then see where you rank this thing. It sounded like, I mean, I knew this game was good, but I have never put in.
It's just like,
that
it's my
amount of
favorite kind of game. I love tactics games. This is great. So
You're not
much
even
fun.
in the post game yet, and I feel like that's where you really get into like all the
I know.
exotic mon too.
I know. I'm going to get ahead so that I can play plenty of post game. Let's talk about the Avia Kingdom. It was the first one on our map. It was a flying kingdom, if you couldn't imply from the name. I don't remember. Do you remember the lineup of Pokemon down there? Here, I'm going to pull the...
Yes. Masamune and Braviary, who is the leader. And then it's
Yes.
Tsunomoto and Golbat, Magoichi and Carnivine, Kajitsuna and Starling, Sigezane and Staravia, and Aroha and Rufflet.
Yeah.
Pretty devastating if you have a couple of stacked electrics and or rock.
Yeah, or... Yeah,
and then you
rock,
just
right?
throw in, I think I brought Staravia because of the Carnivine. No, I was training up my Pignite for that.
I think I brought an Emboar in there too, yeah. I bet we had pretty similar teams. I brought Luxray.
Yep.
Pikachus. I think 2 Pikachus. One of my Joltix has evolved into a Galvantula, which looks cool. So I brought him to the party. Yeah, and it's like the only one the real challenge of this map is the map, because it's meant for flying types. It's sort of like Lucio in that there's like all these gaps in the stage that you have to navigate, and all the flying type Pokemon can obviously easily get over them, but there's these ramps you can kind of go up and propel yourself across the map if you're not a flying type Pokemon. Except the ramps are kind of laid out in such a way that like they're circular, you know? You can only go one direction around the map, sort of.
Like a cyclone.
Yeah, so it's a pretty big pain in the ass, but what I did is I just stayed still. I just stayed put and let all of this idiot's bird-type Pokemon like come to me.
Yeah.
And then just blasted them out of the air with all of my lightning abilities.
I sent Rhyperior out because I thought that he would be able to get far enough away that he could kind of lob Rock Wrecker at the birds, but it is hard to line up because it'll be like the tiles don't always line up directly when you're just looking at the board with like the little bridges, and there's a bridge that will like appear and disappear every other turn. So Rhyperior basically ended up being in the wilderness. I think he got like a couple of rocks popped off, but like he got his rocks off not in a way that he was really looking for. And then everybody else, I also had them hang out on the main island. And then eventually there was like a traffic jam on that main rock.
The big one? The one they started on or the one in the middle?
The one that's like a zigzag pattern. I guess they clustered over there because I was trying to do it, but it's super
I just remembered
annoying,
I didn't bring Embor. I brought the big bear, ice bear.
Bear tick?
Bear tick. That's who I brought.
How you liking that thing? You have
so good.
Disparaged the line previously.
It's so slow, which is frustrating, but man, it hits hard, especially like flying and plant types, which is all this level had. So
what's its thing? Oh, icicle crash.
Icicle crash. The angel closes.
Damn, that's gonna serve you really well in Nick Storm.
I know. I'm very excited about it.
Damn.
So yeah, and then, you can bop your guys around and try to get up to their ramp before they can attack, but I found it much easier just to wait down on the bottom level and wait for them to come get me. The Braviary, Masamune specifically, has a Braviary.
Yeah.
Which is a handsome mon, A.
Oh, very handsome.
But B has one of the most annoying moves we've encountered so far. Sky drop.
I hated that.
It's a 2-turn move. Where on the first, it's like dig. Where on the first one, he'll come and pick up your Pokemon, and then on the second one, he'll drop it down and, cause huge amounts of damage. The reason it's worse than dig, though, is because for a whole turn, one of your Pokemon is just completely inaccessible. They're like up in the sky.
Right.
Being carried off by a Braviary. So it's a real pain in the butt.
I actually didn't even think it did that much damage. It was like, it's so annoying to me because it's just
damage.
Like picking up one of my Mon every turn and then like can't do anything with them, and then like they don't even get close to dying.
It's also annoying because like obviously Braviary was the last one who was still alive on my map, but
same.
I would go to kill him and he would just fly off the map with one of my guys, and it's like, well, I guess these other 5 guys are just gonna like fuck around for a turn while you're flying up in heaven with my whatever Luxray.
I had him like totally surrounded. So anytime he would like come down from the sky drop, it's just like, you're busted. It's like 4 Mon all around him. But I didn't lose anybody. Yeah, it was easy.
You get through it. It's not that big a deal. And then this whole kingdom kind of unlocks itself for you. There's a couple good training areas here. A couple beautiful training areas. One that has a rainbow. And then before us is 2 more kingdoms. So I think we probably tackled them in the same order this week.
Yes, although I do want to bring up one thing before we get too far away from Viperia. Did you do the Alchemist?
The Alchemist. Explain what that means to me.
There's an Alchemist at Viperia. And
I don't think I've done it.
There's that, like, in your items satchel or whatever it is?
Yeah.
There's an elements column.
Yeah.
And so you'll have like scented orb or
I've got a lot of those.
Herbs something. Healing herbs. You can combine that stuff at the Alchemist.
Oh.
And then it will make
that's what this little bottle-shaped building is?
Potions and yeah, exactly.
Oh, I haven't been in here yet.
It's not. It was useful to me because I had whatever the combo was to upgrade potions to super potions. So I made like 7 of those. But in general, and I'm sure, we could look this up. There's probably some other combos, but I thought here's the sage, the professor, once again, imparting my wisdom. And then you'll run away with it next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna
shout out to the alchemist bug catchers. You can find him in Viperia.
Yeah.
But that's all I had.
All right, the next kingdom on our list is in the upper right-hand corner. Connected to Avia is Spectra, which is ghost, as you can imagine by the name.
Yeah.
Another pretty annoying map, Joshua.
This one is... The only reason I wasn't super annoyed is that the aesthetic reminded me of Tristram in Diablo, where it's burned out buildings and like
city.
It's overgrown. I'm a sucker for that kind of an environment. It's super annoying.
It's mostly a normal map, except it looks like a graveyard, and it's got all these little dancing fireballs. And if any of the dancing fireballs touch you, they do some like... I think mostly random status effect on you, like poison you or burn you or freeze you.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there are also these little statues everywhere that seem to just exist to piss you off. They just exist to fuck with you because when you're trying to like beeline towards the enemy's Pokemon, these statues intentionally kind of like cluster up around you.
Yeah, they move to block you.
To get in your way so you can't go towards News Pokemon. That's the name of the person who lives here.
Oh, New, yeah.
New has a Miss Magius, Okuni has a Scolipede, Dosan has a Lampent, Itetsu has a Drifloon, Bokuzen has a Dusclops, and Morinari has a Mischievous. Keep in mind that all of these fucking clowns, including the clowns back in Avia, continue to not let us recruit them after we beat them. So these are all just like strangers to me. I didn't recognize a single one of those names because we have so far not been able to catch any of these guys. Tell me, Joshua, what your experience in Spectra was like.
Maybe in a couple of minutes.
Why? You got something else you want to do?
I just figured maybe it's time for us to take a quick break.
Oh, okay. You want to take a break? Yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
How'd you do in Spectra, Joshy?
I did just fine. It was obnoxious because who was I chasing around? I was chasing around the Mismagius for a while.
Yeah,
it had everybody else was hanging out, so they all get spawned on like opposite sides of the field. That's the default in all of these battles, except like sometimes you'll have like 3 Pokemon on a ridge, and then the other 3 are down in the lower part or whatever. Right. They were all basically clustered together on this map, and 5 of their Pokemon rushed forward, and then I was trying to send all of mine basically that way, except I sent like 2 up top, and I sent like Wigglytuff up top around one of these burned out buildings as like nobody can attack it and it can't attack anything. So it's like, whatever, it's just a meat shield. And then I also sent, I think, Luxray up there.
Yep.
And then everyone else stays down south, but then specifically this Mismagius goes up north. And then it's just like...
Oh, she's coming for you.
Gunning for that Luxray.
Yeah.
And is just torturing this thing. Like the Wigglytuff tries to like block it, and then like, you know, Luxray's got Thunder, but it's a 3 tile away 1 hit. And
I gotta say, some of these like
lining it up is tough.
They're so hard. Like I love a lot of these like really strong final evolution Pokemon, but like Luxray with its 3, like you have to be 3 units away. Emboar has Fire Blast. And Fire Blast isn't a problem, except it hits so many squares. It hits like 10 squares in like sort of a weird random pattern in front of Emboar. So like you inevitably end up hitting a bunch of your Pokemon too, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's a real pain in the butt sometimes where these moves decide to hit.
You know, the main reason I wanted to evolve Luxio, aside from the stats increase, was that it had Discharge, which attacks all of the adjacent squares.
Which is a pain in the butt.
That's harder to manage. Thunder misses semi-frequently, and lining it up is tough, but like it's still more manageable. Yeah. But on this map, the Mismagius is bebopping and scotting all around this Luxray, and like he got hit by a fucking Will-O-Wisp. Anyway, it died. And then Mismagius like circles back around and flanks the rest of my army, which was doing okay. The statues were so obstructive, but I did manage to like maneuver around. The other thing to call out with them is that I thought I was safe because I got Pupitar, I got Spheal, I got Vaporeon, and all of them have long range attacks that hit all the squares in front of them.
Right.
But the statues will block it.
Block them, yeah.
So
they serve as like, in this game, the land varies in height. And if you go up 1 step in height on the land, it doesn't count. Like it still thinks it's flat land. You know, your moves will go up 1 step.
Yeah.
But if you go up 2 steps in the terrain, it's like a whole new level and your moves won't reach that high.
That part is it's still what I'm wrapping my head around.
It gets really difficult at times, yeah.
But I managed to eventually maneuver around. It took a while. This was not the lowest that I got on turns in a battle this week, which we'll get to. But I definitely went into single digits of like no chance of me losing except just literally running out of time.
Yeah, it's tough when they can like hide away, or when they've decided to like hunt down some Pokemon that you don't actually have in play. Like it's so frequent that Eevee and Wigglytuff are just completely useless in these levels, you know?
Yeah.
So you end up just kind of hiding them.
Yeah, that's my strategy with Wigglytuff.
But then inevitably someone will come and run after them, you know? So then you have to chase after them. It's a real pain in the butt. I finally did the impossible, Joshua, this week.
What was that?
I took King Boo and his little cutie Eevee down to Yaksha and ran the training grounds a few times until Eevee hit a 70% link and shed its disgusting little furry Eevee body like a cocoon, And out of that disgusting matted fur erupted a beautiful, sleek, black and yellow Umbreon.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I was well equipped for...
Oh my god, yeah.
For Spectra. Not to mention the fact that I also had 2 Scraggies, which I evolved into...
Scrafties?
Scrafties.
I always think
Joshua,
it's Shrifty. That's the other one.
Let me tell you about my You Make Me Barf Pokemon of the week. It's Scrafty, and let me tell you why. He's got the most sexually aggressive art.
Oh no, I'm seeing it now.
That I've ever seen.
The Cerebi.net site has got the illustrations.
Oh, they've got the illustrations? Do you see the way that he's sort of like aggressively coming at you while he's pulling down his pants?
I do.
Like that is something I never want to see. Is a Scrafty like coming after me while like disrobing, you know? And that's exactly what they've
And
what
he's
they've
looking at you
here.
like, oh.
He's got like bedroom eyes.
Scrafty,
you know?
Scrafty hungy.
Look at him. Oh, he's just coming at you.
I really don't like that.
And he's got his stupid little mohawk. Good Pokemon, especially in Spectra.
Oh, high jump kick.
Oh, actually, you know what? He was not
that
good. That
wouldn't be good there, yeah.
No. The problem is, so what's the other one called? Scraggy has feint attack.
Yeah.
So I was desperate to not have my Scraggies evolve before Spectra. But once they evolve from Scraggy to
Scrafty. It's Scrafty.
Once they evolve from Scraggy to Scrafty, they get high jump kick, which is a fighting type move, which I want for the next kingdom, Valora, which is all steel type. So I had to do this very precise math to keep them as Scraggies for the Ghost Gym so that the dark moves would be super effective. And then evolve them into Scrafties for the Steel Gym so that the fighting move would be super effective. So that's what I did. And that's when I got my You Make Me Barf Pokemon of the week, Scrafty.
2 strong choices this week on behalf of me with the Sweetie. And I definitely am. I'm frankly scared when I look at the Scrafty.
Yeah.
And that makes me barf on myself.
Yep. And I'm seeing it. You're barfing all over yourself. So then that's the Spectra Kingdom. That leaves one more kingdom, Joshua, which is the Valora Kingdom, Steel type.
Oh, yeah.
Here's who we're dealing with in Valora for you, bug catchers. It's Ayasu and his Aggron. Pretty cool.
I like the look of that Aggron. Just like in Pokemon Ranger.
Yeah.
Looks good when you properly,
big beef.
Yeah, put it out on the board. Yeah.
Tadakatsu with Metagross, Ina with Quagsire, Hidetada with Aaron, Muniori with Aaron, and Tenkai with Chimicho. Mostly steel, a little bit of rock, and then, of course, the one random psychic thrown in there, too, just to make life a little tricky.
Yeah.
So you can't just bring all fighting types in. So I didn't. I brought mostly fighting types. And
I brought in...
Embor.
Yes. Okay. Well, I don't have an Embor still, but I have Pignite. But that did fine.
Should we just do level check? Because this is probably the teams that we've probably ended on the teams that we brought into this kingdom, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I'll go first.
Well, other than actually, no, I did swap a couple of them, but I have them on here so I can talk to it.
I swapped one, and it's my first one here, and I'll tell you what happened. King Boo, Eevee, 290. But Tanner, didn't you just say you evolved your Eevee into an Umbreon?
I thought so.
Yes, I evolved that Eevee into an Umbreon. Did you get the special mission?
No.
At some point, you're like, it starts a new turn, and maybe it's because I'm in year 10, and you're in year 4.
Probably has something to do with it.
But at some point, when you start a new turn, after evolving your Eevee, I think, a messenger comes and says, "Oh, did you hear? A special Pokemon just showed up in Elusio. Go check it out." So I went to Elusio, and I went to the Floating Gem training ground, and sure enough, there's another fucking Eevee there. So I go and grab King Boo, I bring him over, and I go and catch another Eevee that I'm going to evolve into a Glaceon.
So even though I evolved my Eevee into a Vaporeon an episode ago, You still played more years ahead of me that you triggered the special event to get another EV before I did that.
Yeah,
so
and I'm hoping to train that EV up and turn it into a Elysian so that the game offers me yet another EV, because that would be the dream come true.
Only have a few days before we record again, but I'm going to just do what I can to try to turn this around. I mean, I'm in fine shape.
You're doing well. I've
You've become master and commander of Pokemon Conquest.
This game and I have become one, fused. Oichi, Wigglytuff, 424. Yoshihiro, Girder, 355. I think I complained a couple episodes about not being able to catch Yoshihiro in the champion of Pugilist, but I have now caught him. It turns out that I think I said this last time, you just have to land the winning blow with another warlord in order for them to be recruited. Did I say that last time?
No, another warlord with a perfect link.
Another warlord with one of those gold backgrounds. So like the warriors all have gray backgrounds and the warlords all have gold backgrounds. Right. And in order to catch warlords, you need to land the final blow with another warlord. So I eventually got Yoshihiro on my team. Girder, 355. I'm desperate to evolve this thing into a Conkeldurr because I think Girder's heinous.
Yeah, I really want this fucking Conkeldurr to happen, and your Girder has even more experience than mine, and
it's
you
so
still don't
hard.
have it either.
You have to be level 60, you have to have an attack power of 90, and you have to land the winning blow, the final blow, on a warrior, which I don't know if you remember from earlier in the episode. The warriors have stopped coming to my kingdom.
Oh,
so
right.
I know I'm just stuck with this Girder then until more warriors show up.
Mine is at a 53%. I've still got work to do, and then I also still have to do that winning thing. I've got Takahisa, so I don't think it's not the same dude, but I do have a perfect link on that one.
Shingen, Rhyperior, 479. Yukimura, Embor, 406. And then Kunoichi, Scrafty, 380. And we've already talked about my issues with Scrafty. Good. Key among them, apparently, is that it doesn't have very good stats because, look, it's only 380 when everyone else is in the 400s.
Well, and the Girder.
And I will say Soren's Raichu, 350, honorable mention. And my 2 Pupatars.
And they're perfect link? So you got that now?
2 perfect link
along with
Pupatars. Me? Yeah.
I really want to end this thing with a Tyranitar at least.
2, if you're me.
I don't know.
Where are you at?
Joshua's got his Vaporeon, which is a 446 now.
These guys get pretty beefy once you evolve them.
MVP.
Yeah.
Oichi, Wigglytuff, 335.
Opposite. Wigglytuff, completely useless in almost every battle.
Useless.
And Hyper Voice is what you were describing earlier with Discharge, where Hyper Voice is a ring around. It's like every box around Wigglytuff.
Yeah.
So like even when you can use Hyper Voice, you don't want to because you end up hitting a bunch of your own Pokemon.
Yeah, Wigglytuff utterly useless on this whole
Terrible.
Because Avia, everybody was too crammed together for Hyper Voice to be good without hurting you. Can't do anything in Spectra, and then super ineffective. Not very
against
effective
Steel.
in Valora. So Wigglytuff, Wiggly sucked this week. Hideyori's Pignite, 291.
I like these little Pignites and these little Embors. Yeah. They're pretty fun.
I vindicated Pignite in the last season. First part of the season, but
is Pignite the one who has the cute splash graphic?
As far as I'm concerned, yes. But I haven't seen an Embor yet.
One of them is doing. It's either Embor or no. It's Embor. Embor is doing this funny like Wario butt bonk, like Wario butt bash in his art. You can just like I would say half of the sprite, the splash art is just his big butt coming at you. That's pretty good, huh?
And he's on fire, so you really don't want to be in the room when he farts. Yeah. Against Chio, Luxray, 342. Sessai, Sfeel, 236. At this point, best bet for me to have ice, probably. Can't get this fucking thing to evolve, which I'm going to have to do before I go into Nobunaga's.
I think you'll get there eventually. It might be that land a hit thing.
Could be. I'm going to have to actually look into this tonight at this point.
Yeah.
Because it's the end game after this. Katsuyori, Pupitar, 287. And then my honorable mentions, because that wasn't actually my team going into Valora. I had brought in Masatoyo, which is Excadrill, 374.
Oh, you got it up to an Excadrill?
Yeah. Loving that thing.
What's its move once it turns into Excadrill?
What is the exact name? I'm not going to know.
It's not dig though, right? Or is it still do that?
No, it's drill run.
Oh, okay.
So it's a big improvement. It's the one where it's it only hits one square, but it's 2 ahead, so it like charges.
Oh yeah.
You have to back up and then it charges. I was liking that thing a lot. And then Takahisa with the girder. That's my girder is 314. So
we'll figure out how to evolve these dang girders eventually.
Gonna need that. I guess not really. The dragon thing is going to be troubling.
Yeah.
If you get the Glaceon, which you can in Nick Storm, so you're going to be sitting pretty. I might have a tough time ahead of me.
And I have the beer tick. Or what's it called?
Beer tick.
What's it called?
I got a beer tick on Fridays around 5 p.m. Bear tick.
Bear tick. Valora Kingdom. Easily my least favorite map we've encountered so far.
Awful.
Set up like a maze, which is already annoying, with lots of different levels so that like moves can't hit very effectively. But then there are these big cog wheels, and if any Pokemon ends their turn on a cog wheel, they turn it. Mm-hmm. And turning the cog wheels makes one nearby gate close and one nearby gate open. So the entire map shifts. Like routes that were previously open become completely closed, and you have to like completely navigate around to either find your way to the cogwheel and open up the gate or just find another way around. Complicating matters is the fact that there are very few open areas, like platforms where more than one Pokemon can stand.
Right.
And they have these little like robots driving around on them. And if the robots catch you on the platform, they will
got
pick
like
you
scanners.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. They will pick you up and drop you somewhere random on the map.
That's terrible.
I just spent the entire match chasing down this idiot's Pokemon and trying to kill them, and they would just run and like close a gate in front of me, so then I'd have to go around the long way. Or they did this other annoying thing. It's like I had Rhyperior in here because it's useful against some of this stuff. Yeah. But Rhyperior has whatever it's called, Home Wrecker, which requires you to be
Home Wrecker
3 spots away.
Yeah.
So what they would do is they would close a gate in front of Rhyperior and then pin him next to it so that he couldn't move away. Oh. And then they would just sit and wail on him, and I couldn't get 3 spots away to attack back. So they killed Rhyperior doing that. I think it was like a fucking like Aaron killed Rhyperior.
Jesus.
Just with like just trapping him. Josh, I came so close to losing just because I ran out of turns, but eventually I got it done.
The last time I looked at it, it was like 4 or 5, and I know there were a couple of turns. I almost ran out the clock here. Again, like, I think Pignite died somehow. I don't really remember.
Every now and then they just get, like, lucky.
There was, it's because the Quagsire, and Quagsire was running around.
Oh, yeah, the Quagsire.
And then
they always throw in one annoying Pokemon just to make sure that, like, if you bring all fire types to the Steel Gym, like, they have a Quagsire to fuck with you.
Exactly.
You know?
The other thing I remember distinctively grinding my gears, so to speak, was the Metagross has Bodyguard is its ability. Bugcatchers, we mentioned that some of the Pokemon have abilities, and it'll be like melee. And so if you use an attack near that Pokemon and it's sitting there, then it will get in like a bonus attack, opportunity attack. And Bodyguard means that if Metagross is like adjacent to a Pokemon that you attack, it will swap. And then, if you're not set up properly, you might not get a super effective attack in anymore because it's like Metagross instead.
Yeah.
And so
exactly,
these fuckers survived a long time because of that.
Yep. Gosh, what a hard battle.
I hated it. It was ugly to look at too. I generally like the tile sets, but this is just like abstract, like
it looks like
floor.
It's like but it also looks like toys, sort of like there's lots of bright colors. Yeah, it's not a good map. But
Valora's bad.
A pretty fun mission, and Valora's not bad, Joshua, because Valora has my item finder of the week.
Oh.
Which is, did you play around with the fountain in Valoria at all?
No.
There's a fountain in Valoria where you can go and you can bring any Pokemon and pay 10,000 gold.
Oh my god.
Or sorry, either 10,000 or 20,000, depending on which move you choose. But you can reassign the abilities of your Pokemon. The second Eevee that I caught had some nonsense ability that I've forgotten about already.
Oh, they're like warrior ability.
Their warrior ability, yeah. So I went to the fountain and I paid 20,000 gold to reassign Eevee the Celebrate ability so that it can move again once it kills an enemy. So I ended up just going and reassigning like most of my Pokemon, like their really boss ability, which costs $20,000 a piece, which is another reason you got to get good at the mining.
Apparently.
Because now we can go screw with their abilities. Hell yeah, man.
Damn.
I spent so much money and time just like analyzing everyone's abilities at this fountain in Valora.
I'm going to hit that up. Although I did just get the traveling merchant, and unfortunately, now that I know this, I bought a Sunstone and a Razor Claw because I want to evolve. I have a Perfect Link Petalil, and I want to evolve that into one of my sweeties. Lilligant, yeah.
I feel like this game has taken over in my mind in such a way that it's like, I just want to keep talking about it, and I just want to keep playing it. In fact, I'm going to go up upstairs and play it right now.
I feel like you opened it to check something like the hours, and you were like secretly playing while we were recording.
Yeah. I've been secretly playing this whole time.
Tanner can't stop.
But that's it, Joshua. That's the leg. Only two more kingdoms to go, only one of which we are aware of at this point, Nixstrom. But imagine once we Nixstorm, once we defeat Nixstorm, Nobunaga will come for us.
Yeah.
I think his kingdom ends up being the Eye of Arceus from screenshots I've seen.
That's right, yeah. So. And then we find out what happens in that post-game that we know is very long.
Here's what I've read. I've read that the post-game is A, long, and B, bad.
Okay.
So I'm glad we're not spending a lot of time on it because people seem to think it's pretty frustrating.
Bug catchers, the next episode will be the last one in this mini series. So we're basically going to see Tanner in particular. I feel like is going to go farther than me, but we will see how much of the post game we can explore.
Yeah,
but we'll summarize it either way. But we will not be clearing this 100%. Maybe Tanner will. I honestly don't know.
Maybe I might just keep playing though once we're done, and I'll check back in a couple months.
Yeah, we can do a conquest check.
I love this game. I'm just gonna keep playing it. Joshua, bug catchers, that's it for us this evening. We will see you again next week when we take on Nixstorm and
I like Nixstorm sounds better, to be honest. Yeah. Like most of our pronunciations.
My name is Mistringringius, and I'm joined as always by my co-host Shimachash. And this has been Experience Shared's Pokemon Podcast. Please do rate and review the show everywhere that you rate and review shows, including Apple Music. I know we say that every week. It's become part of our patter on the way out, but I want to stop down to remind you once again that it really does help us a ton. So please go and do it if you haven't yet.
We've been on 443 ratings.
Yeah,
Apple Podcasts for
every week,
longer than I care to admit,
and yet we've been stuck on 443 reviews. So
fresh stars and fresh quotes about how good this show is in there, especially ramping up for our next season, X and Y. So get your carts
get your carts.
However you play.
Josh gave me a heart attack earlier this week. He was like, "X and Y carts are super expensive." They're not. They're $40 complete with box and manual.
This is a cheap one for once. For some reason, foreboding that it's cheap.
I think it's because it's still a fairly new game.
I'm pissed though. I played this and I got rid of it apparently at some point. Foreboding as well.
Please do follow us everywhere that you follow podcasts, and do follow us on social media at EXPSharePod on Twitter and Instagram.
Check out our subreddit, reddit.com/r/bugcatchers. We're almost at 1,000 members there. Let's get us there too.
Yeah. Let's get us there too.
Check out our merch.com at merch.com.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's something there. It's probably a porn site, but if you don't use all your money there, you can go to expsharemerch.com.
Let's go see what it is. Merch.com.
Merch.com. Check.
Oh, this site can't be reached.
Oh, that's some person from like 1998 who bought it for like $10, and they've just been sitting around extorting whoever is trying to buy it.
It's illegal.
$100,000 for merch.com.
It's called cyber squatting, and it's illegal.
Cyber squatting. That's illegal now?
We can buy merch.com. Oh, no, we can't. We can make an offer. Anyway, let's not worry about this.
Give it a shot.
Make an offer.
Can't be bad for business. We get merch.com.
Yeah. Joshua, bug catchers, goodbye.
Smell you later.